Hey friends, Happy New Year, Happy 2026. Today we are here to do a little update on my DIY faux marble epoxy countertops. I have gotten here and there a lot of questions on how these countertops have held up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take you in, I'm gonna show you the countertops, show you how they look today. I'm gonna tell you about them, how I clean them, and yeah, just give you a quick update. The video should not be long at all, so let's just go. Okay, so first of all, if the video is shaky, I'm very sorry. I'm holding the camera with my hands, of course, so I hope it's not gonna be too bad. Okay, today is what day? Monday, January 5th. So again, Happy New Year. I hope you had a wonderful New Year and a wonderful holiday. Let's see. So we have, let me start over. So I painted these countertops on, let's see, I painted these, I wanna say in July or August of 2024, okay? I used a kit, an all-in-one kit. I bought it on Amazon. The brand is Gianni, and it was a faux marble countertop kit. I will give you a close-up of the countertops in a minute, so don't worry. It was a faux marble countertop kit. Again, I bought it from Amazon. I just checked. The kit is still available. And as of today, January 5th, 2026, the price of the kit is $199, so right under 200 bucks, which may sound pricey to you. However, of course, it is much, much less than replacing your countertops, right? The color that I used is called Carrera White. The kit does come in a few other colors, but I chose the white, which has some like gray marbling. So you can go on there. It will, of course, show you the other color options. And yes, it is still available. I will have the kit linked below in my description box. It is also linked in my Amazon storefront. As a side note, I also have some other things linked in my Amazon storefront. So I have the cabinet paint, I have the backsplash that I used, the cabinet hinges and hardware. I have a bunch of things linked in my Amazon storefront if you like any of it. I have a section in my storefront called, I'm not sure, home reno stuff or something along those lines. It will be clear to you when you go there. But if you like any of the things that you see, it is all linked there, okay? So that is the scoop. I used a kit. Again, everything comes in the kit, basically. The only thing I think that didn't was maybe the plastic to cover the cabinets. But now that I'm saying that, I think they might have even included plastic. So I'm pretty sure it was an all-inclusive kit. I won't be answering questions today on the process. I did film an entire video on how I did these countertops. I will link it up in the cards here, so if you want to check it out, again, I filmed the entire process on how I redid these countertops. In the video, it will show the before, you know, the before and the after, and of course I'm going to show you the after now. So again, I did this in July or August of 2024. We didn't actually move into this home until November of 2024, so the house wasn't really lived in from July to November, but we were here from July to November doing work. We were painting and doing little projects, and then we moved in full-time sometime in November of 2024. It's now January of 2026, so we have been living here just over a year. The countertops have held up absolutely beautifully. I am in love with them. I do not regret the process at all. I hope that the camera will be able to do them justice with the lighting and everything. But here's how they look. They look stunning. yeah, they look stunning. Now, I will tell you, there are scuffs and scratches, but it doesn't bother me because I used a light color. You can only see them in certain light, and I don't know even if I will be able to get them on camera. You can kind of see at this angle, like right here, some of the scratches. Again, I think that's kind of a given, and maybe I could potentially buff those out with something, but I don't even care, honestly, because you can't tell unless I get at this particular angle, like I said. So yeah, there are also some imperfections that I noticed along the way, months in. Like this is one, again, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get it with the light. Let's see. It's gonna be really, really difficult. You could kind of see it. There you go. It looks like maybe a hair got in when the epoxy was curing, some kind of hair or dust particle or something. Again, it's fine. You can really only tell at certain angles. So when your epoxy is curing, you just kind of have to be careful and try to, I don't know, do your best to keep things out of it, essentially. But this is our, of course, real kitchen. We live in it. I didn't even bother to clean the sink out before I filmed because we live here and this is our real life. So this is how it's holding up. Again, it is still beautiful. There are some spots here, maybe you can kind of tell, where it's not quite as shiny. I think that's just standard wear and tear, and maybe that's actually just the glare of the camera, I'm not sure. But again, overall, they still look absolutely stunning. The job around the stove here is not very neat. I could take like a scraper probably and potentially neaten that up again. It really honestly doesn't bother me. I'm not a perfectionist. I'm someone that's more like done is better than perfect. So definitely not really too neat of a job around here. So I would say if you're doing it around like a cooktop or something like I did, just make sure you use, like you tape around these areas really, really well. Because obviously I did not do that great of a job. So yeah, just, you know, learn from my mistake there. With this process, it seems intimidating, but it was actually really easy. And the one thing I can say is it's really forgiving. So with painting these veins, this was the first time I had ever done anything like this. And I think it came out great. With painting these veins, you can always erase it if you don't like how it comes out. That's the great thing about the kit, because you don't actually pour the epoxy until last. So if you don't like how you do your veining, you can always just wipe it away or paint over it if you need to. And then, you know, redo it if you don't like how it comes out. So that is basically the gist of it. How do I clean them? So the kit did give some kind of general instructions on how to clean them. I literally use soap and water. So I have this spray bottle here, and all I use is Dawn dish soap mixed with water. I literally don't even measure. I just put however many pumps of dish soap I'm feeling that day and put some water in there and then just shake it up. I just spray it on the counter and then wipe it with a paper towel. If there is a tougher spot, I will use a magic eraser and scrub it, but I, you know, very, very gently. And that has taken care of 99.9% of spots. I try not to put heat on it for too long. Like I will use a trivet, because I don't want heat on these for too long. And that's mostly it. Now there's one caveat which I will show you in a moment, but like I said, for the most part, the kitchen is pretty much perfection. So yeah, but I'm gonna take you into the bathroom now and I'm gonna show you the one caveat. So let's go in there and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so here we are in the bathroom and the lighting is not as great in here, so I apologize. But the one thing I will say with the bathroom, I kind of learned a hard lesson with this, is I do have a discolored spot here in the bathroom, sort of due to my own fault, and it is here in the corner. So in the corner, almost for the entire year or little over a year that we lived here, I had a little corner shelf here made out of acacia wood, and I will be honest, I did not always remove it to clean the countertop. And you can tell, hopefully you can tell, it is discolored there. If you can see, it actually, I feel like doesn't look quite as bad in the camera, but it's yellow, yellowish, brownish, all right here. Yeah, it's like a little bit darker in person. I kind of feel like you can't quite tell as bad in the camera. So yeah, so this discolored, and after I found that, I used a couple different methods to try to clean it up, but then I Googled it and it said that sunlight, when like sunlight and I guess acacia wood kind of like creates some type of chemical reaction on epoxy to discolor it, essentially. So because it's a chemical reaction, I don't think that there's any way to get that out, essentially. I could sand that area and try to like patch it with epoxy, but honestly, I'm not gonna do that. I ordered a different type of little corner shelf here that's not wood, that I'm just gonna cover it up. It's not terrible or terribly obvious. So for now, especially because this is like a Formica, I think, countertop, an older countertop, I'm okay with it being, you know, what it is, and eventually, maybe years down the road, we will get a new vanity anyway, or a new countertop or something. So I learned a lesson, learn from me. Do not put acacia wood on an epoxy countertop. I actually had down in the kitchen also a napkin holder where the base was acacia wood as well. And I did keep that out on the countertop for a while. And I also noticed a discolored spot. Luckily, I noticed that like very early on and removed that from the counter before like any real damage happened. And that spot seems to have gone away, or at least I don't notice it anymore. So it was like extremely, extremely mild. But yes, acacia wood. I don't know if there's any other type of woods that also would do that, but specifically the acacia wood caused that discoloration. So just be careful and just know going in that the sunlight shining on the wood, because I have a window in my bathroom right there, so it's kind of shines directly on this vanity. And it caused some discoloration. Now with these countertops, one thing I don't like is that they do show water spots. So I actually specifically did not clean this countertop to show you guys the water. And it's pretty dirty, so you might judge me pretty hard, but again, with the light, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it, but you can see when water dries up on it, you can really see the water spots. Again, you do have to like look in certain lights to see them. So that's one thing I don't like about it. But then again, you know, that might be all kinds of countertops anyway. I have young kids and a husband who really don't clean up after themselves that well. So I just try to, after we're done using the sink, just try to take a towel and wipe around the sink. The faucet that I have really splashes. It's not, if you like this faucet, it looks very nice. but it's really splashy, so I don't recommend it. It also gets very dirty very fast because it's like big. It's like just has a lot of surface area. The kids like splatter it with toothpaste, and it's nice, but it's just, I don't recommend it. It's really splashy. So anyway, yeah, the water spots, they just like sit on the counter. So whenever the countertop gets wet, I do try to wipe it, but again, the rest of my family doesn't, so you know. And I do remember the care instructions in the kit said to try to not let water sit on the counters because that's not good for it. So again, I try to wipe it the best I can. Do I always do that? No, I don't. The last thing I'll show you is over here. There is one little spot of discoloration. Well, I guess 3 little spots right here. I have no clue what this is from. I have no clue what this is, like how long this has been here. It's these little yellow spots. I have not been able to get these off. There's one right here too. I honestly haven't tried too hard though. Like I haven't tried a bunch of different things. You could really see a lot of scratches here in this light. So yeah, I don't know what these are, what they're from, but there's these little discoloration spots, and these and that big spot in the corner are literally the only like imperfections that I've had. Other than the scratches, which are normal wear and tear, that's it. Anything else I've been able to get out with the magic eraser or just my standard soap and water. So overall, for over a year in, especially with having young kids and using these counters constantly all day, every day, I really highly can't say enough about how just amazingly these countertops have been holding up. So if you are thinking about doing this, yes, absolutely 100% highly recommend. The process is much easier than you would think. You do need though to be able to not use your counters for I want to say at minimum 3 to 4 days. I believe even they say up to a week after you finish pouring the epoxy. It takes up to a week for everything to cure. I could be wrong about that time frame, but it's at least a few days for the epoxy to cure fully, to its full hardness after you pour it. So for me, I had the luxury of, we did not live here yet. I was able to pour this and then just leave it alone, go home, and have it fully cure, and not have to use it. So take that into account if you're doing a kitchen, a bathroom, anything in the house that you live in. It might be a little tougher because, you don't want to be using the counter. You don't want to place anything on it, get it wet, of course, nothing, for at least a few days. Again, obviously the instructions are going to give you that full time frame, but yeah, there is a time period there where you're going to have to not be using your counters. You can see all the water spots here. But that is it. And that is it for the 1 year update of how the epoxy countertops are holding up. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions at all, please leave them down below in the comments. Once again, the kit will be linked below as well as in my Amazon storefront, along with some of the other things that you saw in the kitchen there. I do have the video again on how I did the countertops, so the entire process was filmed. So definitely refer back to that if you're interested in seeing how I did it. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm so grateful that you're here. Also, I will film a video on the cabinet update. A lot of you were also asking about the cabinet paint as well, on how that held up. So I will be filming a little update on that as well. So stay tuned, and I guess I'll catch you in that video. Bye.